Today I'm going to show you how to do a green egg, hickory smoked, sweet heat barbecue chicken wing. They're a great summertime favorite, and they're also a staple when it comes to tailgating. And you know, football season's just around the corner. Come on, let me show you how we do it. All right, Applewood smoked barbecue grilled chicken wings. That's a lot, that's more than a mouthful to say, but I'm telling you, they're worth putting them in your mouth. And so what I do is I get poultry from the local butcher, and as long as you trust the butcher, that's where you can get it. And what I do is I go ahead and brine it overnight. And what a brine is basically a sugar and a salt marinade, if you would. So I put a gallon of water, I put a gallon of apple cider, and if you can't find apple cider, apple juice will be fine. And then about a cup of kosher salt, a couple of bay leaves, and I boil that. And then once it gets to boiling, I stop. And then what I do is I actually just get a cooler, nice big cooler, put the chicken wings in, dump the brine in, and then I dump a large bag of ice, close the cooler, leave it overnight. And then the next day, what I do is I get them out and I rinse them in the sink. That was boring, so I wasn't gonna show that to you. And then I pat them dry. And anytime that you're gonna rub something, as they call it, and we're not actually gonna rub it, we're just gonna sprinkle it on, it will adhere to the skin better if it's nice and dry. So they're all nice and dry. And so what I did here is I made a rub, and you can make whatever rub you want. This doesn't have to be specific. What I've chosen to do was a half a cup of Creole seasoning and a half a cup of Hidden Valley Ranch seasoning. Now, you can do whatever you want. If you like a smokehouse rub or if you feel like you need to make your own, by all means do it. It's absolutely to your preference. And what you just want to do then is you just want to season the wings liberally. Okay? And you want to let that sit on each side. We're going to get both sides of this. And you can see that's why right here I have about 10 pounds of wings, but I have them in 3 pans because I want them nice and spread out so you can make sure that you get even coating. Smoking food is something that I absolutely love, and I've got a huge passion for, and I just love the green egg. And you'll see that we're going to smoke these on the green egg, and it is the most versatile grilling tool there is, if you would. I mean, you can grill a filet perfectly at a lightning high temperature, or you can smoke it and it'll just keep that temperature for a really, really long time. And so I go to a lot of football games. I'm a big football fan. I'm an ex-football player. And so wings are a staple for tailgating. All right, so while that seasoning sits on the one side, I'm gonna do a wing sauce, but I'm gonna make it like a sweet heat wing sauce. You know, a lot of times you can do a buffalo or you can do whatever you want, but what I did 3/4 of a cup of Frank's Red Hot, which is one of my staples, and then I did about a half a cup of a Memphis style barbecue sauce. You can do a Carolina if you like mustard, you can do Kansas City or anything you want. And then I've got half a cup of butter in the pan already, so I'll turn that on. So I've got that going, the butter will start to melt down. And you don't want to get the butter too melted too early, otherwise it'll brown. We've talked about this a bunch of times. If it starts to burn on you, it gets bitter, and that's no good. So we just add the wet ingredients to there, and then now we're gonna add the dry ingredients. Dry ingredients, we've got garlic powder, we've got Italian seasoning, we've got white pepper, and we've got kosher salt. So just dump those in, and then we're gonna incorporate those. Smells awesome. Dare I say it's almost happy. And so really, depending on the spice level that you like, you can elevate the heat. You can use a habanero hot sauce, or you can simmer it down and go a lot more barbecue sauce. Maybe even add a little bit brown sugar in there. You can do just barbecue sauce if you want. I just like, and my family really likes, a sweet heat. So you got a nice tang to it, but you got a sweet finish as well. All right, I'm gonna flip the chicken over, we're gonna season the other side, and we're gonna throw them on the smoker. Today we're gonna be talking about retirement plan consulting. Now, retirement plan consulting, should you get it done? Should you not get it done? Is there a value behind it? Are you getting your money's worth? It really depends on your situation. If you're young and you're just starting out with saving and investing, then yeah, for sure, spend some money, get a financial professional to take a snapshot of your complete financial situation, and they can develop a comprehensive game plan for you that you're gonna put forth. And that's absolutely worth the money. Now, as you get older, if you're considering financial plan consulting, you really need to consider everything that you have going on. You know, are you close to retirement? Do you have long-term care coverage? Do you have life insurance? When are you gonna draw Social Security? At that point in time, you could again pay for a financial plan consultant to help you, but I'm not sure you're gonna get as much bang for the buck. It might be in your best interest to develop a relationship with a financial advisor, come up with a comprehensive game plan, and they'll walk hand in hand with you as you go through retirement. See, the problem with financial plan consulting is they'll develop a game plan and they're gonna hand it to you, and then it's up to you to do it. Now, if something gets lost in translation, then things might not go the way you want them to. And if you're younger, you've got time to recover, but when you're older and you're at or you're in retirement, you just don't have time to recover. So that's something to consider when it's time to make that decision. All right, so we've got all the chicken flipped over and we need to season the other side. And one of the things I get asked a lot is, can you over season it or can you put too much rub on it? And you absolutely can. You really just gotta do it to your taste. It's gonna be a trial and error thing sometimes, but less is more. You know, I mean, if you put too much on it, you're not gonna eat it. If there's not enough on it, you're still going to eat it. So go, you know, less is more. You can add more the next time. And eventually after a while, practice will just make perfect. So the chicken's got rub on both sides. We've got the smoker to where we want it. And what I did is I took some applewood chunks, soaked them in water for a little while, and I got the green egg going. I put the chunks in there, and then you want to keep the temperature somewhere between 250 and 300. Takes a little while to get it dialed in, but once you get in there, maybe around 280, 275, that's where you want the grill to be. The sauce is ready, the wings are ready. I'm gonna dump them all into one pan, and then we're gonna go put them on the smoker. So we've got the egg, it's right about 255 degrees, which is exactly where we want it. And the cool part about the egg is it's got a vent at the bottom and a vent at the top, so you can really, almost to a degree, get exactly what you want. Now, inside, when you're smoking food, you wanna use what's called indirect heat. So we've got a tray in there so that it's not getting direct heat to the chicken, otherwise you're really just gonna end up grilling the chicken, and that's not what we wanna do right now. And then we've got what's called a water bath there, and the reason why is the water bath is actually gonna keep moisture inside the vessel. So all we're gonna do now is just place the chicken, doesn't really matter how you place it, but just randomly around in a single layer. Normally I would use the tongs, but we're gonna try to use it fast, because what you wanna do is you wanna maintain as much temperature in there as you possibly can. And so, you know, a lot of people will ask, you know, what kind of wood do you use? I prefer with chicken, apple or cherry. If I'm gonna smoke meat or pork or something like that, I like a hickory. It just adds, you know, just like you could imagine a peach, an apple, or a cherry will add a fruity flavor to the smoke that you're putting to the meat. And I try to do this as quickly as possible just so you can, you know, maintain as much heat inside the vessel as possible. Now when you're smoking, I've got one layer, and you actually, you know, some people say, do you flip them in between? And you don't. Basically, just let them go, you close the lid, and then you set it and you forget it and you come back. And we're gonna go at about 250 to 275, and we're gonna go for about 1 hour, 45 minutes, and then we're gonna come out and get them out. Okay. So it's been about 1 hour and 45 minutes. The temperature is held exactly where we want it, 250 degrees. We're gonna open the lid and we're gonna see if they're done. And they're done. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take them off the grill. We've got the sauce ready, and then we're gonna toss them in the sauce, and we're actually gonna finish them on a different grill because they're just gonna become much more happy that way. And I'll just tell you, you don't have to finish them on a grill. You can toss them in the sauce. You don't even have to use sauce. But I promise you, if you toss them in the sauce and you finish them on a grill, you're gonna love them. Here we go. So you can see you've got that nice golden color there, and they're as juicy as can be. You don't have to check and see if they're done, they're done. And regarding the sauce, you'll see here in a little bit, it doesn't look like there's a whole bunch of sauce, but a little goes a long way, because the more heat that gets added to it, it's gonna thin out a little bit. And you don't wanna overpower the wing with the sauce. We put a good rub on it, we've brined them, and we've added some smoke to them. So we've got a bunch of complex different flavors added to them, so you just don't wanna drown them in sauce. All right, so what we're gonna do now, we're just gonna take the sauce. I like to get every little bit I can out of the pan. Pour that over the top. And you could mix that around, but what I like to do, it's just a little bit easier, is take another pan, go over the top, and then just give them a little shake. Be careful though with the sauce, it could actually spill up on yourself, so just be careful you don't do that. All right, so we're gonna use the gas grill for this. It's just faster. You can obviously use the egg. You would just wanna crank the heat up and then take that indirect heat piece that we have in there, take that out. So we want direct heat at this time. Sauce is on there. Nothing fancy. We're literally just gonna pick the pan up and then we're just gonna toss it on there. And one thing you wanna remember is the wings are cooked through. All right, so just make sure that you get into a single layer. And again, you don't have to worry about tossing them or whatever. We just want to get some good grill marks on them, a little bit of char. And so when you have smoked wings, I mean, this is a summertime thing, right? Or a tailgating thing. So you might do some potato salad. It's really endless. It can actually stand by itself. You're going to watch a football game, grab maybe an ice cold beverage, some wings, and then go. All right, we're all done. That's a green egg, applewood smoked, spicy sweet barbecue chicken wings. Now, if you want that recipe or you'd like to be on the show with me, email me at info@swdgroup.com. I'm Rob D'Alessio, and this was A Taste of Retirement.